Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, my number 5 is a game called The Bridge on Xbox 360.
The black and white game.
Yes, have you played it?
I almost downloaded it, but then it sounded like Braid, so I was like, my brain's too tired for this today.
Yeah, it's not really like Braid. It's a PC game that came out earlier this year, and it's coming to 360 now. This is an incredibly difficult case because basically I'd say it's a brilliant game, and I would recommend it to a multitude of people, but it made me feel ill. And I do mean it made me feel queasy because I was trying to compare it to something. I was trying to think of a reference point because I couldn't find anything to compare it to. It is, without question, the most difficult game I've ever played in my life.
Oh dear.
And it's just because my brain is not wired in that way. But you know, I had to. It's so difficult that I had to consult a walkthrough on 3 or 4 occasions. And if you watching the walkthrough and hearing the guy talk about it, and he was just full of love for it. And any opportunity to explain how much he loved it. And then if you look through the comments on these videos, people are madly in love with this game. So, if you're looking for a difficult game, if you love puzzle games and you think that the majority of them are too easy, I suppose they are.
What is the game?
Okay, I'm going to try to explain this as best I can. I mean, it's a brilliant... First of all, it's functional, it works, and it looks really nice. It's got a charming look to it. It's all drawn in pencil and sort of cross-hatching, and the visuals kind of wobble in that sort of way that primitive, really old animation does. It's a really endearing-looking game, and it works. So, although I can't vouch for how sort of... I'll explain how it works. You use the triggers on the pad to rotate the world. You're a little guy in this world, and all you have to do is sometimes you have to find a key, and then you have to just basically get to the door, and they're split up into chapters. So the screen is always the puzzle. It's not like you're going between screens or anything.
Right.
The screen opens, and that's what you've got to do. It starts off very simply. It's physics puzzles, but after a little while, it turns into perspective puzzles as well. So you know those Lionel Penrose endless staircase illusions. So a lot of the worlds, almost all of them, look like that. And all you have to do is collect keys, avoid obstacles, and get to the door. There is a really neat respawn system where you can rewind from death back to where you began. But, for example, if you picked up a key halfway through, you can rewind directly to there rather than going all the way to the beginning, which is quite nice. So you're flipping this thing around 360 degrees, and then it introduces inverting, which it doesn't explain brilliantly, but... You walk through a door and you come out a slightly different colour, and that colour doors are accessible to you, but if you're the other colour you can't, and other things of the same colour will hurt you, but they won't if you're the other colour. Then you walk behind veils that allow you to manipulate different fields of gravity in the world. I can't... It's starting to make me feel a little bit... I'm genuinely serious. It's making me feel a little bit... even when I was watching a walkthrough and doing the levels as I was being told to do them, it's something about how ridiculous... I mean, all of those things working in tandem with each other. Twisting the world around, different fields of gravity, inverting so that you're a different... I mean, it's complex like no game I've ever played. I mean, for example, if the only way to... explain how difficult a puzzle game was by expletives. If you can imagine Portal, the first Portal game, that's quite easy. If that was just like a pierce. The Bridge is somebody shrieking the C word in your face for about 3.5 hours. I honestly, it made me feel ill, but it's brilliant. You can tell that it's brilliant. I just don't have the brain power to deal with all of these cylinders firing. I mean, looking at some of those. I completed it, but I got to midway through the 3rd chapter, I think, before I started really needing help. And some of those, just sitting back and looking at those maps, you just think, my brain is not wired up for this. But anyway, like I said, it works, it feels good, it looks good. So I have no doubt that if you're looking for a difficult puzzle game, don't even think twice, jump on board. With regards to, I mean, it's an Xbox Live Arcade game, but it's like that PC, it's very similar to the PC game Capsize. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Where that came to Xbox Live Arcade, and it was very bare bones. It wasn't like most arcade games. It was kind of more like an indie game. There was no leaderboard support. There was no frills. There's achievements and stuff, but it doesn't get the same treatment as a lot of sort of stuff that's not started out on PC first. So it's not... as good as it looks, it hasn't got the thrills that a lot of Xbox Live Arcade games have. But yeah, I recommend it, but not if you're anyway like me and you can't handle hard puzzle games, because it is the absolutely hardest game I've ever played, no doubt. But everyone tells me it's brilliant. I know it's brilliant, but just not for me.